What is going on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with the Wraparound, where we're going to be breaking down the NHL action going down on Saturday, March 2nd, 2024. Just a reminder, if you haven't already and you like this content, smash that thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. Appreciate all the love and support here at Pick Dawgz from all of our Pick Dawgz family. You know, you guys are the ones we do this content for. I put these nights in to do the wraparound because I love putting you guys on some free pick NHL winners. So definitely we appreciate all the support we can get. So smash that thumbs up. If you're looking for my best bets on the board, and for Saturday, we've got a lot of them, head to pickdawgz.com, click the premium picks tab at the top of the page. Going to have quite a few college hoops games. Got a 136 game college hoops card, smaller NBA card. We're going to have an NBA play on the board as well as some NHL. But this is the time to hop on a long-term pass. You know, the 3-day and the 7-day long-term passes are actually less than buying each of my daily packages individually on Saturday. You can definitely hop on a daily pass if you're sort of just keyed into one thing, but the long-term pass is the way to go. Whether you come along just for the ride with me, or you pair me up with any of your other favorite handicappers as part of a multi-capper promotion. And remember to use that promo code PICK at checkout for 15% off your purchase. But that's later on. We're going to be having our morning show later today to go through the games. But for right now, we're here to talk about a 13-game NHL card for Saturday. One of the tougher cards, in my opinion, that we've seen this season, especially as of late. That's not going to scare us off, though. It's not going to deter us. We're still going to talk about these games. You guys know the drill. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's get into it. Our first game on Saturday's card takes us to the PNC Arena, where the Carolina Hurricanes take on the Winnipeg Jets. I went back and forth on this game because these are both teams that are playing well right now. You know, Winnipeg, winners of 7 of their last 9, while Carolina, has won 6 of their last 8. But I think I'm settling on the under 5.5 here. These are two teams that pride themselves on playing good defense with solid goaltending. The Winnipeg Jets have a 2.60 goals against average as a team in their last 5 games, while Carolina has a 1.60 goals against average. To me, this sets up as a first to 3 wins, maybe 3-2, with whichever way you have it going here. So give me the under 5.5 in this one. Now we're going to the Little Caesars Arena, where the Detroit Red Wings take on the Florida Panthers. And, if you really wanted to go for the plus money here, I wouldn't blame you. I mean, the Detroit Red Wings are playing really well right now. They've won 7 of their last 10 games. They're coming off of a 6-game win streak before they had it snapped by the Islanders last time out. But I still can't get there with the Detroit Red Wings in this one, just because the Florida Panthers have had the Red Wings number for the better part of the last few years. The Detroit Red Wings got the win the last time these two teams met, 3-2 in overtime when they were in Florida. But so far, the road teams won the last 4 meetings between these two teams. And I just think that right now, Florida, the better team. They're 20. They have 20 wins, 8 losses, and 2 overtime losses, both home and away, an identical record home and away. What you see is what you get with the Florida Panthers. And the Detroit Red Wings, they provide value at home, and that's all well and good. But I think that in this one, I got to go with what I feel is the better team, and that's going to be the Florida Panthers on the money line at -154. Now we're going to Climate Pledge Arena for a matchup between the Seattle Kraken and the Edmonton Oilers. And the Seattle Kraken, another team very similar to the last matchup we talked about, Florida and Detroit, where you have a home dog that can be providing some value. But we're back to the point where the Seattle Kraken aren't providing that much value. Sure, they've won 3 of their last 4 games at home, but now they go into a matchup against an Edmonton Oilers team that's had their number in recent years. The Edmonton Oilers have also won back-to-back road games. And between these two teams, Edmonton's won 5 straight meetings, 7 of the last 8. And Edmonton's also won each of the last 4 meetings between these two teams in Seattle. So I think I just got to ride with, the team that I feel is just the better team. That's the Edmonton Oilers at -154. Now we're going to the Bridgestone Arena, where the Nashville Predators host the Colorado Avalanche. And the Colorado Avalanche, still one of the best teams in the NHL, 37-19-5 this season. But they are a vulnerable team on the road. They're just 14-13-5 away from home this season. And while the Colorado Avalanche have had the better of the Nashville Predators in recent years, including sweeping their playoff series a couple of years ago, Nashville comes into this one the hotter team. They finally got a win over the Colorado Avalanche last time these two met, the first meeting of the season back in November. And like I said, right now, Nashville's playing some solid hockey. They've won 7 straight. They've given up 2 goals or less in 6 of those 7 games. And like I said, the Colorado Avalanche, they haven't been the normal selves on the road. They before the win over Chicago last time out, the Chicago Blackhawks, woohoo. They lost 4 of their previous 5 road games. They're, like I said, 14, 13, and 5 away from home this season. Got to take a shot here on the Preds to keep the win streak going at plus 116. Now we're going to the Enterprise Center for a matchup between the St. Louis Blues and the Minnesota Wild. And the St. Louis Blues, I can get why they're a home dog here. They haven't necessarily been playing at their best, but this is a team that, sometimes can rise to the occasion defensively. The problem is that they're going to have to because the offense hasn't been working. They've lost 6 of their last 8 games, and in all 6 losses, they've scored just 2 goals or less. The Minnesota Wild, they pride themselves on playing solid defense for the most part, but they just got taken to the woodshed 6-1 by Nashville. They've scored 3 goals in their last 2 games combined. To me, I look at this matchup and I look at a total of 6. I think at the absolute worst, you get a push here, but I think the under is the way to go. Like I said, I think these two teams come in with some solid goaltending. Even though it doesn't look like it on the surface, Minnesota a lot better than their 3.60 goals against average in their last 5, while St. Louis 2.67 goals against average in their last 5. I think this is another game where it's the first of 3 wins. Wouldn't be surprised maybe we needed an extra frame, some overtime in this one. But either way, I'm taking the under 6. I think it's the only way to go in this one. Now we're going to the KeyBank Center where the Buffalo Sabres take on the Vegas Golden Knights. And, normally I'd see a price like this with Vegas and taking on Buffalo at the other side. And, I would probably jump at it with the Golden Knights. But, Buffalo, they won the first meeting between these two teams in Vegas earlier this season. And while I do like the Vegas Golden Knights more often than not at home, on the road they've been a different story. They're 14, 11, and 5 on the road. And overall, as of late, they've been struggling. They've lost 6 of their last 8 games. Buffalo, they've won 4 of their last 5. They're coming off a come-from-behind win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. They finished their road trip with, a split in Florida, but they've won 3 of their last 4 on the road. Now they go back home where they played some solid hockey this season. They beat Carolina last time they were at home. And I think this could be a value spot with the Sabres here. I'm going to take a shot here on Buffalo at even money. Now we head to the Wells Fargo Center for a matchup between the Philadelphia Flyers and the Ottawa Senators. The Sens on the back-to-back after having the dubious distinction of being the team that helped Arizona end their 13-game, maybe it was 14-game, I can't remember now, but either way, their double-digit losing streak. And now they head out on the road where they've been far less effective this season, 8-16-1. The Senators are away from home this season. The Philadelphia Flyers, they play their better hockey away from home as well. And they are coming off a humiliating loss to the Washington Capitals on the road, 5-2. They've lost 5 of their last 7. But overall, I just feel the Philadelphia Flyers are the more trustworthy team. Ottawa's lost 6 of their last 9. And like I said, they've been terrible on the road for much of the season. And the back-to-back spot doesn't help the Sens either. I'm taking the Philadelphia Flyers here at minus 146. Now we go to the Amalie Arena where the Tampa Bay Lightning take on the Montreal Canadiens. And I get it that, fading Tampa Bay the rest of the season or for a good chunk of the season may not be a profitable strategy long term. We only got about another, 20 or so games to deal with it. But here's the thing. The Tampa Bay Lightning continue to be disappointing in my eyes. They're probably going to make the playoffs. Let's call it what it is. I'd be surprised if they didn't, and you never say never, but it is what it is. But this is a Tampa Bay team that continues to disappoint. They've lost 5 of their last 7 games. They've lost 4 straight at home. And now they take on a Montreal team that, they've lost 6 of their last 7 and 8 of their last 10 as well. And a lot of those came on the road, but they've also been competitive on the road. Last couple games on the road, they went to Florida. They lost 4-3 in a shootout. They went to New Jersey. They lost 4-3. They beat Arizona at home. They lost to Buffalo and Washington by a single goal at home. So this team plays in a lot of close games, and on the road, they've had a favorable record on the puck line, plus 1.5. I know Tampa Bay's had the better of these two teams so far this season, but the most recent meeting in Tampa Bay on New Year's Eve finished 4-3 in favor of the Lightning. Montreal covering another plus 1.5. I'm going to take a shot on it again here. Green Montreal plus the 1.5 in this one. Now we're heading to Scotiabank Arena for a matchup between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the New York Rangers. You can see over my right shoulder. I'm an admitted Leafs fan, but even I know there are spots where, they can't win every game and you got to take a shot on some value. And I think that's what we have to do here with the New York Rangers. This Toronto Maple Leafs team is playing well at home, but they're still just 16-11-2 at home this season. They have been playing better since Ilya Samsonov assumed the number one role again. Joseph Woll looked really good in returning to the crease for the Maple Leafs last time out against Arizona. But this is still a Rangers team that is just so good, so tight defensively. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, and in all 4 wins they gave up just 1 goal. Igor Shesterkin on another level right now. Toronto, like I said, they've got Ilya Samsonov, and this team has a ton of offensive upside. But if I were to bet this game, which I don't think I will be, to be honest with you, I'd probably take a shot here on the Rangers at plus 100, like I said, or sorry, even money. Toronto, they've won 8 of their last 9. New York's won 9 of their last 10, and they have a better record on the road than Toronto does at home. New York 19-10-3 on the road this season. So I'll take a shot on the Rangers here at even money. Now we're going to the UBS Arena where the Boston Bruins take on the New York Islanders. And, New York, been inconsistent for much of the season. They're back to being 500 so far as of late. They won back-to-back road games against Detroit and Dallas. Now they go back home where they are 13-8-9 this season, so still a sub-500 record. The Boston Bruins come to town, finally snapping that extra time streak with a 5-4 win over the Vegas Golden Knights. Now they get a favorable matchup against an Islanders team that they've won 6 straight meetings against, including each of the first 2 meetings this season. Boston scored 4+ goals in each of those games, and the Islanders, they've only scored 5 goals once in the last 4 games. I think I got to take a shot here with the Bruins on the road in this one. The Islanders as a home dog is tempting, but I think Boston is the better team here. So give me the Bruins on the money line at minus 125. Now we go to the United Center for a matchup between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Columbus Blue Jackets. And this is a game where if it wasn't played, would anyone really notice? I mean, you have a Chicago team that's won 25% of their games this season, a Columbus team that's won 33% of their games. Columbus team that doesn't play all that well on the road against a Chicago team that's better at home, but are they really that much of a better team anywhere? It doesn't matter to me. To me, I'm taking the under in this game, and not because I trust either defense to be able to do enough to stand on their heads, but I just don't trust the offense on either side. You have a Chicago team that scored 3 goals or less in each of their last 5 games during this 5-game losing streak they're on, and they've scored 3 or less in each of their last 10. And they're averaging 1.6 goals per game in the 5-game losing streak. Columbus, they've scored 2 goals or less in 4 of their last 6 games. To me, this is an ugly 1-3 wins kind of game, maybe even 2-1. I'm not going anywhere near this thing, but if I were to, it would probably be with the under 6. Now we head to the American Airlines Center for a match between the Dallas Stars and the San Jose Sharks. And this is a tough matchup because I think we've been priced out regardless of how you play this. You could take a shot on the San Jose Sharks at plus 365 or even get plus money with the plus 1.5 in this game. But the problem for me with the Sharks is that I've held the grenade with the Sharks and I've pulled the pin, and sometimes I've been left holding on to it too long and it's blown up in my face. And I'm not willing to do that with the San Jose Sharks, but I'm also not willing to lay this price with the Stars. Even if you take the puck line with the Stars, you're laying around minus 165, minus 170, which is hard enough for me to chase on a money line, let alone a puck line. Like I said, I think we've just been priced out. Both sides of the total are tough because, even if you look at Dallas's team total, you have to go to over 4.5 to get even money. So I think there's going to be goals here, but Dallas hasn't been producing many goals as of late, and I don't trust the Sharks either. So like I said, it's tough across the board here. I think you've been priced out, and there's just no angle to go from a full game perspective. So I'm going to do something I think I've maybe done this 2 times or 3 times on the wraparound since the start of the season. I'm going to give out a player prop. I'm going to take Joe Pavelski and Jason Robertson. I'm going to sprinkle on each of them to have an anytime goal. You can see there Pavelski's at plus 175, Robertson plus 160. Kaapo Kähkönen has made 3 career starts against Dallas. And that is who I think is going to get the start here for the San Jose Sharks. If it ends up being Magnus Krona, the backup, even better. But last time we saw Kaapo Kähkönen against the Dallas Stars, he faced them 3 times in the 21-22 season, and Pavelski and Robertson got on the score sheet multiple times in the 3 meetings. And both of them also got on the score sheet last time out against Winnipeg. So I like them to keep it going here. Plus 175 on Pavelski and plus 160 on Jason Robertson. And our final game on Saturday's card takes us to the Scotiabank Saddledome, where the Calgary Flames take on the Pittsburgh Penguins, and another matchup where, I just try to get on a side here, and I do lean towards the Flames if I were to pick a side in this one, because they have been playing the better hockey. They've won 4 straight, but I think I got to go with the over here. The Pittsburgh Penguins, they've been playing some decent hockey themselves. They won 3 straight before their 2-0 loss to Seattle last time out. But I think this is a matchup where we're going to see some goals. The goaltending on both sides, for my money, has been fairly suspect. Pittsburgh, a 3.40 goals against average as a team in their last 5 games. Calgary, much better at 2.50, but these are two teams that can flat out score. Pittsburgh, before the 2-0 loss to Seattle, they had scored 4 or more goals in the previous 4 games and in 5 of the previous 6. Calgary, they put up 4 or more in 3 of the 4 games during this 4-game win streak. Two teams that can find the back of the net. I got to go with the over 6 to round things out. That's it. That's all the NHL action for Saturday, March 2nd, 2024. If you like this content, make sure you smash that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And make sure you hit that notification bell in the description of this video below to get notified when the newest and freshest content drops here at Pick Dawgz. And if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. And make sure to let me know your NHL picks in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.